Whether you're desktop publishing, designing logos, or using type for image building, you'll be reaching for type tools. This quick guide will cover the essentials of what is a huge amount of Illustrator's functionality, which is type. Hi there everyone, my name is Andrei Marius. I've been working in Illustrator for over 10 years, and in this Envato Tuts Plus tutorial, I'll put my experience to work as I guide you through the essentials of type in Illustrator. As always, before we begin, make sure to check out Envato Elements, where you can get unlimited downloads of stock videos, music, graphics, photos, fonts, and many more. That's millions of creative assets, all ready to use and with a simple commercial licensing. You can subscribe right now with the link in the description. If you haven't done it already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to click this little bell icon to make sure that you'll be notified whenever new tutorials are published. And that being said, let's move to Illustrator and start with type tools. First of all, to make sure that we have a quick access to all of the type tools, let's go to Window, Toolbars, and Advanced. Now, if you click and hold the type tool, you can notice that this added some extra tools to this list. You can click this tiny arrow button, which will open a standalone panel where you can easily select any of these tools. And we'll start with the type tool. You can select it from your toolbar or by pressing the T hotkey. Once selected, all you have to do is click on your artboard and type in your own text. Keep in mind that pressing the Escape key will switch to the Selection tool. Let's reselect the type tool, and alternatively you can click and drag to create a container in which you can paste or type in some new text. As you can see, when the text exceeds the edges of your container, you get this small red cross icon. You can use the Direct Selection tool to click this icon and then click anywhere on your artboard to create a container of equal dimensions which contains the rest of your text. Let's press Ctrl and Z to undo this move, and keep in mind that you can also click and drag to determine the exact size of this new container. Next, you have the Area type tool. Use it to click on a closed path, and then you can add text which is constrained by the edges of the path. Again, when you're done, you can press the Escape key to easily switch to the Selection tool. As the name clearly states, the Type on a Path tool can be used to add text along a path. Just click on a path and text will be constrained along that path. Once you press the Escape key and switch to the Selection tool, you'll also get access to these handles. The left and right one allow you to adjust the ending and the starting point of the text. You can move the text along the path. And using this middle handle, you can adjust the position of the text or flip the baseline of the text like this. Whenever you need some vertical text, the vertical type tool might be the perfect solution. As you do with the type tool, just click on your artboard and then type in your vertical text. Keep in mind that pressing Enter will add a new column of text on the left side of the existing one. Moving on, the Vertical Area type tool can be used to add vertical text inside a closed path. So click a closed path and then simply type in your text. Using the Vertical Type on a Path tool, you can easily add vertically flowing text along a path. Just as you did with the Type on a Path tool, simply click on a path and then type in your text. Finally, there's the Touch Type tool. You can either select it from your toolbar or by pressing Shift and T, and this can be a pretty powerful text editing tool as you can click any character from your text, and using these handles you can rotate your selection, you can move it or even scale it as you wish. Now that you learned the basics of type tools, let's see how you can further edit text using the type panels. To easily open most of the type panels, just go to Window, Workspace, and Typography. As you can see, this gives you access to the Character panel, the Paragraph panel, the Open Type panel, as well as the Character and Paragraph Styles panels. The remaining type panels can be accessed by going to Window, Type, and here you will also find the glyphs and the tabs panels. Here you can also find the keyboard shortcuts that can be used to open or close some of these panels. Now that you're set, let's see how these panels can be of help. We'll start with the most important one, which is the character panel. Using it, you can change the font that's used for the selected text, the style, adjust the size, the leading, which is the spacing between the lines of text, kerning, which is the spacing between two characters, tracking is the spacing between all the characters from your text. Using vertical and horizontal scale, you can scale your text. Baseline shift will help you adjust the height of the baseline on which your text sits. Character rotation is pretty straightforward, as you can rotate characters. And finally, using these buttons, you can add all caps, small caps, superscripts, subscripts. You can underline text or even add a strike-through line. If you wish to learn more about the character panel and all its hidden features, feel free to check out the link in the description, which will get you to the written and video version of this other tutorial. Next to the character panel, there's the paragraph panel, which provides all your basic options for defining paragraphs. These options include alignment, left or right indentation, first row indentation, space before or after paragraph, and even numbered or bullets lists. Also worth noting is this hyphenate option. When checked, this allows words to be hyphenated. Where exactly the words become hyphenated is dictated by the selected language from the character panel, so make sure that the selected language corresponds with the language of the text. If you wish to add words which will be exempt from hyphenation, you need to go to Edit, Preferences, and Hyphenation. Here you can set the default hyphenation language, and in this box you can type in the word which will be exempt from hyphenation. Click this Add button, and as you can see, once I click OK, the word is no longer hyphenated. Before we continue with the other type panels, you should know that the character panel and the paragraph panel can also be accessed from the control panel, as long as you have a piece of text selected or when a type tool is active. Moving to the open type panel, this one can be used to define how you wish to display alternate open type characters within your document. Alternative characters which are available for a selected font family can be seen either by selecting a single character from your text or via the glyphs panel. So let's open this panel by going to Window, Type, and Glyphs. You can use this drop-down menu to filter the available glyphs. Double-click your text so that you can add some new characters, and now simply double-click each character that you wish to add to your text. Using the Character Styles panel, you can predefine styles which you can then apply to multiple instances of type. For example, we have this piece of text with all these character settings. Using this Create New Style button, we can save the text settings. Then if you select this other piece of text and just click this character style, you're easily adding the same text settings from this first piece of text. Let's select it and add this same style. And now if I make a change and open the flyout menu and go to redefine character style, the text which used the character style updated as well. The paragraph styles panel acts in the same way as the character styles panel, but obviously applies styles to paragraphs. So you need to select a paragraph and click this button to create a new style, and then select some other piece of text and apply the paragraph style. Finally, there's the tabs panel. Having a text selected, go to Window, Type and Tabs, and the Tabs panel will show up above your text. For this simple example, we'll use this default left justified tab to add a tab in this position and another one in this location. Then you can double click your text and press the tab key. Once you're done, you can play with these tabs and adjust the spacing whenever you need and however you wish. Now let's go to Edit, Preferences and Type to explore some of these predefined type preferences. First, you have the size, leading, tracking, and baseline shift settings. Check one of these two boxes whenever you're planning to work with East Asian or Indic fonts to make sure that you'll be able to properly use such fonts. Check this box and you'll be able to select a text object only by touching its path. Having this one checked will translate the name of your fonts and display them in English whenever you open the fonts list. Enabling this feature, your text container will increase its height to fit any new text that you add. Keep it unchecked and you'll get that red plus sign, which you can click using the direct selection tool, and then add a new text container. This next feature determines whether or not these font previews are displayed when you open the fonts list. Using this drop-down menu, you can set the number of recently used fonts that show up in the top of the fonts list. This one lets you preview Japanese fonts whenever you're in this Find More tab. Keep this setting enabled, and when a font is missing a certain glyph, Illustrator will maintain the glyph from the previous font. This will make all your text go left to right and top to bottom, including non-Latin text. Have this box checked, and whenever you open a new document, Illustrator will highlight text which uses fonts that you do not have installed. Things would look somewhat like this. As long as you keep this setting enabled, any new text object that you add will start with some lorem ipsum placeholder text. These show character alternates will display the glyph alternatives right below your character after you select it. And keeping this enabled will automatically turn your text into a list whenever you press plus followed by a space. Keep in mind that this also applies for the asterisk and minus symbols. With this final touch, we've covered the basic stuff that you need to know when working with text in Illustrator. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to hit that like button as it lets me know that I did a good job. Subscribe if you are not already, and don't forget to click the little bell icon to be notified of any new tutorials. I'm Andrei Marius, and I'll see you in the next video.